Ken Marino, great to see you, sir. Great
Hello,
to see you.
nice to see you.
Good to see you, man. I am so jacked that this show is back.
Me too.
It's been 13 years.
It's been 13 years. Although I think in the Party Down world,
yes,
maybe 10 or 11 years passed. So
Okay.
we like to play with the
see.
timeline a little bit.
Very good. The third season of Party Down premieres coming up Friday, February 24th at midnight on the STARZ app, all STARZ streaming, and then on-demand platform on linear. Debuts on STARZ the same day at 9 Eastern time. What a great cast. Looking on the screen right here, there's you and Adam Scott, Martin Starr, Jane Lynch, Megan Mullally, Ryan Hansen. So much fun. When did this first cross your radar screen back in the day?
To the original when we first did it?
Yes, the original.
I was working on another show that Rob Thomas, who's one of the creators, and John M. Baum and Dan Etheridge were working on called Veronica Mars, and I was lucky enough to have a recurring part on that where I played this character, Vinnie Van Lowe. And I was talking to Dan Etheridge, and he was telling me about this script, Party Down, that they tried to get up and running at HBO, I think. And at the time, Paul Rudd was attached to it, and I feel like Steve Carell was
in the ether,
maybe going to be part of it. Yeah. And then HBO didn't do it, and unfortunately for Paul, because I don't know what he's done since.
Yeah, I know he's been lost.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate for him. Yeah.
So they were telling me about that script, and I said, "Oh, can I read it?" While we're between shots. And then I read it, and I immediately went back to Dan Etheridge, and I was like, if you ever audition for Ron Donald, please let me audition for Ron Donald. And so that was the first time I had read the script, and it was just an incredibly funny script, and I could connect it to Ron very quickly.
Why was that the character that you chose, Ken?
I don't know. I just felt like...
Did you know at the time he was well endowed?
I didn't know. No, not at the time. Not at the time.
That was a reveal, if you will?
That was a reveal, yeah.
At the end?
Which, they said, hey, do we need to get a prosthetic? And I said...
For those who may not know, last we left Ron, right? The finale of the second season.
The second season,
right?
Yeah.
Which that your character, it was revealed to be well endowed.
Well, there was somewhere in the, I don't know where, it wasn't at the end of the season, but they catered a porn event. And like a post-party porn award show. Yes. And a producer was at the urinal next to me, and he noticed that I had very, 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 very large member. Yes. And so he wanted to see if I wanted to get into adult movies, but he needed to see if it worked. And the problem is, with Ron's luck, he just got a little camera shy, and it didn't work at all. So,
oh my gosh!
So he had the equipment, but he didn't know how to properly use it, or couldn't use it.
Okay, so is that storyline? I'm not to ask for any spoilers. Are we done with that storyline?
I don't want to spoil anything in the third season, but it certainly isn't front and center.
Understood.
Yeah,
and
it's tucked away.
The fact that most of the cast that you've got back together here. It's pretty sweet. I mean,
everybody came back. The only person who wasn't able to do it but wanted to do it and was going to do it up until very late in the game, and it was because of COVID, and she had other projects that she was shooting, was Lizzie Kaplan.
She was great in that too.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Yeah.
So hopefully, people will watch this, and maybe we can do another season, and I don't know, maybe Lizzie will come back.
Join, because it's so rare to see. Again, I know you'd mentioned before that that Party Down, seasons get split and it lasts longer. Like original series seasons last longer, but 2010 is technically the last season of Party Down.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
And so the fact that you could cater, if you will, a bar mitzvah in between the previous seasons, it's so rare to see something brought back like that. I mean, imagine you thought you'd never do this.
I never
again.
thought we would. Well, for a while that we were talking about doing something.
Yes.
And then every time I was in an interview, somebody would ask me, and I'd say something's brewing.
Yes.
I don't know what. I don't want to jinx it, but something's happening.
Yeah.
And then years went by, and then finally I let it go, and I was like, it's not going to happen. And then soon after that, I got a call. So there's a lesson.
Yes.
There, which
what
is,
is that?
just stop believing. Stop believing and things will happen.
I like it. And, well, you got a good Jane Lynch story for me. Do you have a good Jane Lynch story for me? Anyone from the set, from anything, meeting her? Or, she is so damn funny.
Jane Lynch is, clearly one of the funniest people alive, and so I got to do a number of scenes with her this season.
Yes.
And that was super exciting. Right. One of my first scenes that I got to do with Jane was in a movie called Role Models. And in the movie Role Models, she takes a hot dog in a bun and sticks her finger through it, and then the hot dog comes out, and it was in the middle of the movie. And that was such a well-liked moment in the movie that we then repeated the beat with my character and her character at the end of the movie during the credits. And I think that's one of the first times we got to do stuff together. I think that was before Party Down. Yes. I could be lying to you.
It's all good.
But I got to do a bunch of stuff with her this season. She's super funny. What's great about her is she's just, anything she says is so genuine and real and also hysterical. So she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's been here, and we totally fanboyed her on The Fugitive.
Oh, you did?
Yes, which was something I think caught her a little off guard.
Because she was in The Fugitive. Yeah, she has it. And
she was the one who understood how the samples got switched.
That's right, in the hospital,
and if
right?
it wasn't for her,
who knows what happened?
Richard Kimball might never have come in from the cold.
He might not have jumped off that train in time.
That's what we told her, and she, I think, wanted a restraining order on the spot. And she couldn't have been nicer about
I'm
that.
very happy. We had to do like a press junket, her and I, and everybody from Party Down, but they paired me up with Jane. And they basically sit us in a room together, and we're talking to people on a camera, and then they give that person 4 minutes or 8 minutes, and then the next interviewer comes in. And every time the interviewer was about to be cut off, I would go, they'd say, thank you. And I'd be sitting next to Jane, and I'd say, oh, thank you. And right as they got cut off, I'd go, I love you. And every time I said it, Jane would start laughing. And so then I kept doing it, and so each time I did it, Jane would laugh more, and so it was like getting crack cocaine. I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing it until Jane stops laughing, and she wouldn't stop laughing. And then she started doing it.
Fantastic.
So that's a nice.
That is a great one.
Story.
Ken Marino here on the Rich Eisen Show again. Party Down, third season. It's back. Premieres on STARZ. At 9 Eastern time on February 24th, and you can check it out on STARZ app, all STARZ streaming, and so much more. And of course, Roku channel, the Roku devices is a great way for you to check all this stuff out. You've known Rudd for how long? I know you've known him for.
I met Rudd.
Right?
I think I met Rudd right around when we did Wet Hot American Summer, around that time. So it was 2000, 2001.
I mean,
maybe before that.
The cast in that movie is ridiculous.
Pretty great.
Right. Elizabeth Banks is in that. You're in that. I mean, we could go on.
Bradley Cooper and Paul and Amy Poehler and David Wayne and Mike Black, Mike Showalter. And
my gosh.
Keeps going.
It does keep going. And so, and Latrulio, I know you're friendly with Joe.
Sure.
And so we've, I've seen this in action. Paul is a terrific karaoke singer, and Latrulio is a terrific karaoke singer.
Yeah.
But they pale in comparison, Ken Marino.
That's very nice of you to say.
You are the greatest karaoke singer I have ever seen in person, and I've seen a lot.
Well, I will throw this right back at you. Yes. Your Frank Sinatra is one of the best I've ever seen.
I appreciate that.
If not the best. I would say, actually, the best Frank Sinatra karaoke version, a version of Frank Sinatra I've ever seen.
Is that right?
For sure.
And you've seen a lot. I imagine.
You kill it.
Thank you.
You knock it out of the park.
You're not just saying that because I'm saying what I'm saying to you.
We'll never know.
Okay.
No, I am not just saying that. I think you are fantastic.
I don't have in me any other range. I know my lane and I stick to it. You do a Macy Gray that I've never heard. You're incredible doing her. What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't have a go-to anymore. I get that asked. I get that question asked a lot. But I will say this: I've taken it to another level, in my opinion.
Okay.
And it's because of David Wayne. David Wayne started a garage band in his garage. And invites people over and to sing with a live band. And so then I've been going over there, and then we've started a band.
Oh.
That middle-aged dad jam band. And we've been playing.
Is that what it's called?
It's called MAD, or
Okay.
Middle-Aged Dad Jam Band. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we played a couple of live shows. One at Dynasty Typewriter here in Los Angeles, and then we did a charity event at the San Francisco Comedy Festival.
Yes.
And we did all live songs,
So
and
now
I was the front man,
You
and
know-
it was a dream. It was a dream come true, and all of that work I did in all the dark karaoke rooms for many, many years
paid off.
finally paid off.
Look at this.
Yeah. And we sang a big variety of different types of songs, and I was prepared for all of them.
Of course you were.
Rich, I was prepared for all of
Guys,
them.
I'm not kidding you. But here's the...
I've seen it. I've been there.
Oh, that's right. You've been there. You've seen it.
I was there.
And here's the best part about it, though, is other people can say, I'm better, or I've seen somebody better. Let me just tell you this. You are also the only person I've ever met.
Oh, no.
Only person I've ever met who in the middle of a song that he's singing karaoke says, watch, wait a minute, during the music instrumental, they're going to show this photograph, and I'm the cowboy in the photograph.
So back.
This is amazing.
So back when they were making karaoke videos early on when I was in college, they would when I was looking for work in college, you know, every once in a while somebody would come up and be like, "Hey, we're shooting a karaoke video and you get $100. Do you have like denim? Can you dress like a cowboy?" And so I did that in college, and then years later I was singing in some karaoke room, Happy Trails, I think.
Yes.
And there was another one, another song. And what they used to do in karaoke songs is they would have the words, and then any time an instrumental would come up, they would just go to like some still picture of two people being romantic.
Yeah, it would pixelate into it like with the same sort of pixelation you saw in Space Invaders.
Right,
you know, like
right. Very early,
Yeah.
pixelation video game vibe to it. And so all of a sudden I was surprised to see the one lady video that I went and shot in college. They took stills from it, and there I was as a young man dressed in denim, riding a horse, and there I was.
I mean,
I'm in karaoke videos.
You are. So, but you're singing the song, and when they get to the musical instrumental part, you say, "Wait a minute, I'm going to show up. My picture's about to show." And we're like, "Get out of here!" And like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
That's a flex. That's what's called a karaoke flex.
Thank you very much.
I've never seen that before.
Thank you very much.
No one can ever take that away from you. That's
They'll
the
never
sports
take
phrase.
that away from me.
That's the sports phrase. Even though I've never met anybody who, in retort of some player or athlete saying, "No one can ever take this away from me," actually attempt to physically remove it from that person. I've never seen that ever before.
I appreciate that.
Never before.
Can I just segue into something else?
Please, Ken Marino. Go
Which
for it.
is,
yes, sir.
I'm going to take something away from Warren Sapp, who was a guest here earlier, right? So Warren Sapp, in my memory, was the MVP of the Super Bowl that they won.
He was not.
But he was not.
It was a defensive player named Dexter Jackson.
A safety, right?
Yes, it was. Correct. Yes.
So the reason I thought that is I met my wife at Jimmy Kimmel's first show on Super Bowl Sunday. Wow. At Jimmy Kimmel's backstage. And George Clooney was the first guest, and Snoop was the co-host. Coldplay played, and I have said for 20 years.
Yes,
it's been we just celebrated our 20-year anniversary. Thank you so much.
Same with Jimmy too, right? I mean, sure.
And for 20 years I've been saying, and then they flew in Warren Sapp because he was MVP. He was not. And I just found that out moments ago, and it really is messing with my reality.
So what do you mean you met your wife that night? Was she?
She was with some friends, and they snuck in to see the show. Okay. And I was watching the Super Bowl with Adam Scott at my house. That I just bought a house. I had no furniture in it, and Adam came over, and Joe Truglio and Paul. Yes. And we were watching the Super Bowl. I had my TV stuck in the fireplace because I didn't have anywhere to put it. And we were just sitting watching, and then Adam's girlfriend, whose wife now, was a producer on the show, and he's like, "I'm going to see Jimmy Kimmel." So I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll come."
Having no idea your life's about to change.
Having no idea that I was going to meet my future wife, and so then I went, and then I ran into my wife, and then we started dating and got married 2 years later.
Fantastic.
So we celebrated our 20th
Yes.
During Super Bowl Sunday by, of course, flying to Vegas and going to see RuPaul's drag show.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. Yeah, that was our Super Bowl Sunday.
That's a heck of a Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, it was
Ken.
delightful.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, and I didn't watch the game. What I saw.
Yes, sir.
The best part of the Super Bowl, and it was great, was my dear pal Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Super excited about the win with his son Jack, talking about how thrilled they were. And so I was like, I got everything I needed from the Super Bowl by seeing that.
And I told you as you were sitting down that Jack, his son, sounds just like his dad. I mean,
just
they have
like
the
his dad.
Same cadence, the same everything, the same love of Mahomes. I mean, yeah. I mean, his son, I mentioned it on the show on Monday. His son said, I just want to thank Patrick Mahomes for existing.
Unbelievable.
Which, if you closed your eyes, it would have sounded like Paul.
Sounded like Paul.
I know.
And what's interesting is, so Jack was born. Jack's a couple of years older than my son. My son's 15.
Yeah.
And my son is now, within the last 4 months, is now 6'4".
Dude.
And he gets in my mug. And he reminds me that he's a good 3 inches taller than me.
Dude, he's 6'4".
6'4".
Wow. Ken Marino.
15.
Unbelievable. Everybody check out Party Down, third season of Party Down, Friday, February 24th at midnight on the STARZ app. All STARZ streaming, on-demand platforms, and on linear. It's going to be debuting on STARZ the same day at 9 Eastern time. Thanks for coming on, man. Congrats on this show.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Look, I got my Patrick Ewing socks on.
I had no idea. Did you do that just for this show?
I did.
Did you really?
I have them, and I just put them on.
I can't say I noticed that when he sat, because I'm a big Stance socks guy.
Yeah.
So when you sat, I was like, oh, he's got
my
Stance.
Patrick Ewing and my New York Yankee sneakers on.
Okay, very good. How does one acquire Patrick Ewing socks?
You just go to a store that sells them.
I just didn't know. I didn't know if it was like Ewing sock night at Madison Square Garden one night against
it wasn't. No,
against the Washington Bullets or something when you were back in the day checking it out.
It wasn't. I just went to a store and they had.
Why Ewing? Just because?
Well, because that's when I was deeply into the New York Knicks when I lived in Manhattan and I would go to the games
and be patently let down by the final results.
Listen,
I'm from Staten Island.
did
I was
okay.
With you.
Everybody, Michael Jordan destroyed everybody.
He did.
So there's no let's get past that, right? And then he did all right. They did okay.
If Jordan didn't exist,
no,
Ewing would have rings.
Charles Barkley.
Barkley would have a ring.
Malone, Stockton, probably.
Stockton and Malone.
Stockton Malone would have a ring.
Reggie Miller
go back to back.
Would Reggie have a ring?
Maybe. Well, they took him to Game 7. So maybe.
Reggie might have a ring.
The Pacers team was
Magic would have another ring.
Yeah.
More than likely.
He killed everybody.
Drexler.
Drexler.
He would have a ring.
Glide, glide.
Yeah, and Akeem Olajuwon, right?
Akeem.
The Rockets might have.
Drexler might have had with 2 teams.
4, yeah.
Dan Worley would have a ring.
Won. No. Yeah. That when Jordan was
when
out.
Jordan was out.
Right.
And beat the Knicks.
And beat the Knicks.
So maybe Ewing
That's what I'm
wouldn't have had a
saying.
ring.
Is that the Charles Smith? Is that the season where Charles Smith could not get a basket?
No, that was the season.
Block. 4 blocks, right?
No,
he just kept going up.
Excuse me. That was the season, if I'm not mistaken, Jordan returned, and they weren't that good yet. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. The season where Olajuwon beat the Knicks is when John Starks couldn't make a 3-point basket.
Well, I mean, but how many
Game 6 closer?
How many baskets did he score in the game before?
A ton.
I know so that. What do? How do you stop him?
Score more. That's what you do.
It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking.
Charles Smith, 93.
93,
so,
yeah.
It was heartbreaking.
That was one of the years Jordan was out.
No, that was the three-peat. That was the first three-peat year.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, that's why I'm wearing the socks, because I love Patrick. I love the Knicks back then.
Me too.
And I just got I sort of took a break from them, and now I'm back into them, and I'm enjoying this team.
Same with Rich.
I'm enjoying this team a lot, and I don't think they're getting as much love as they should be getting.
I love Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
And I think him and Randall are terrific.
Yes.
I enjoy I love every single time I see Coach Thibodeau, He looks like Rodney Dangerfield, with his tie completely undone.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Exactly. Hey. He's explaining to the refs.
Hey, get back on defense. What are you?
Exactly. Oh. I got to burn a timeout over here. He's complaining to the refs that he doesn't get enough respect. He kind of looks like that, like a Hirschfield drawing of Dangerfield is what he looks like to me. And I do like the Josh Hart acquisition.
Yes, I just saw some highlights of him the last couple of games. And he looks like he's really good at D, right? Like he's really good at defense,
yes,
which we need.
Yes,
and he's energetic.
I just can't stand the owner. The owner gets me all upset. That guy. So I put on a mask when I went back to Madison Square Garden, so the facial recognition wouldn't notice me, and I went back. It was really great. It's a great place.
I think I love Madison Square Garden.
Me too.
And I love, I love the Knicks this year.
Okay, so
they're great.
So for season 4 of Party Down, I'll see you in your Julius Randle socks, and let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, your Quentin Grimes socks.
Will Quentin be there next?
I don't know. We'll see.
Quickly.
Emmanuel Quickly socks. Very good. The 3rd season again at Party Down, February 24th. Thanks again, Ken Marino.
Thank you so much.
You're the man. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.